Welcome to the Jcarl weather breakdown forecast. We hit some record highs yesterday. In Des Moines, we hit 87, with our record being only 83. So, broke our record by 4 degrees. So, a very warm day yesterday. But all that energy sparked up some pretty big storms. So, we saw big thunderstorms just south of Ames. So, they're very close. I'm sure you guys all saw a good lightning show outside yesterday. I saw a lot of great pictures from our storm chase coordinating group chat, and we saw that move just off to our south of Ames. So, we dodged a bullet. There were some hail reports yesterday, as we saw, mostly just north of Des Moines there. There's some 1-inch hail reported, so nothing big, nothing window shattering, but you might have a dent on your car if you're one of our people from Des Moines or Ankeny. And we did see a good amount of rain. We saw areas within those storms where those went over the same spot over and over again get upwards of an inch. So just west of Des Moines, they got almost an inch and a half. Here in Ames, we just saw a couple drops, so nothing good for our drought. We're still going to be in that drought, but good news coming up this next week. I think Jax has a great forecast that'll bust our drought coming on up. So let's let him take it away with the European model.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me on the podcast today. Hey, Jason, thanks for having me on the podcast today. Appreciate you having me in. Today we're going to talk a little bit about this upcoming system this week. We've been in a drought, as you probably know. Fire danger up by Highway 20. We saw it out by Sioux City here the last week. We've seen fires across the west coming off the Rockies, and we're continuing to see dry conditions as we go throughout this week. We got a little bit of that rain last night. We'll see throughout the Euro this week. And we move into some of the global models that we'll see some more rain finally hit the state of Iowa, which is much needed.
Yeah, much welcomed rain coming our way.
So if we move through the end of this week here, we'll start today, obviously the 31st. But we'll just give you a general overview with some of our surface lows and our reflectivity here. So you see on the Euro as we move through, Jason, we get some shower chances into the latter part of Wednesday, all UTC time. So we're looking at the latter part of Wednesday, into the day on Thursday, potential severe weather outlook according to the Euro for this day. And then we get another round later on Thursday that extends into Friday, and then Friday into Saturday. So we're going to see a good chunk of rain fall down for the next couple of days here in western Iowa, central Iowa, and eastern Iowa. That'll take us out of the drought monitor. So let's pull up some of the severe weather parameters. I know that's what you're interested in. I know that's what we're all interested in with this podcast. So we want to see what kind of tornadic potential we have with these storms. Obviously, hail, heavy rain potential is there. What do we see for tornado potential? Let's pull up some of those parameters to figure that out.
And right now it's looking possible, but I'll keep the storm chase socks in the drawer for now.
I think you're going to have to, yes. Everybody gets all excited. It's March, it's April. We need to be out chasing. A lot of times, April Fools, we get out there and we just don't see anything. And that happens in Iowa. But sometimes, we've seen years past, 2023 is a good example where those tornadoes, they pop. And when they pop, they surely do pop in Iowa. You know that from chasing experience. So let's take a look as we go into some of our mixed layer CAPE. That's kind of our storm food for our systems here moving into the later part of this week. As you can see, by Thursday night, Thursday in the middle of the day here, this is a morning system. So usually we don't see tornadic activity in the morning. Usually it waits till the afternoon hours. You'll see on Thursday morning, this is 1518Z. So we're seeing between 9 and 10 to 12 p.m. We get CAPE values here at the 1,500 joules per kilogram mark. And you see if we pull a sounding, marginal torr soundings. This is out ahead of that surface low that we talked about kind of coming through. So if we go back to our surface and precipitation map, we'll see this low pressure system, same time period. If we go back here, we'll see that low pressure system kind of develop. The model doesn't want to jump around on me. We'll go up here. There you go. 3, 6, 9Z, 12Z. We'll see that low develop in eastern Nebraska, eventually propagate northwest or northeast, my bad, and we'll go into 15Z, and we see that low kind of develop in western central Iowa and eventually move off into southern parts of Minnesota. That's going to bring our tornado potential. Everybody says when they're out there chasing, chase the triple point of the low or chase the cold front. This is a triple point of the low inflection point. We want those vorticity tubes to be stretched near the ground. This is our only opportunity for that to happen. Other than that, it looks to be kind of a soaker event. You can see here, so that low continues to propagate. Our blizzard conditions stay mostly off into the northwest, along the Dakotas and northern Minnesota. But as you can see here, we get multiple rounds of systems with a little bit of lows, with these lows tracking in from the southwest to the northeast for the next couple of days. Jason, I know you want to chase, and everybody says, hey, like I was saying, it's April, but we're getting April fooled right now. Don't get fooled by that little Cape value, that little Cape tone that sticks out in central Iowa. We got good Cape values, steep mid-level lapse rates that we'll see in the SKU-T here. So if I were to pull a sounding right here, and it'll probably be pull a severe to a tornadic sounding, as you can see here. So marginal severe, you got steep mid-level lapse rates, but you just don't see that near the surface. And we get what's called elevated cells then, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for the storms to be near the surface because this is an early morning event. We don't get the sun bringing us more energy, more things like that. There's also a lot of rain in the vicinity, so it might be rained out. We'll get the favorable part of the storm that could be tornadic in the right circumstances, but it's just not lining up at this point.
Exactly. So, it's just not lining up, but we're hoping to see, 3 to 4 inches of rain. So if I pull up QPF here for this event, for the next couple of days, we see QPF totals by Friday into Saturday, 1 to 2 inches across the state, much needed as we go into the latter part of April. We need that for our aquifers and for our farmers out there who are looking to potentially get some water into their fields into the latter part of the spring and into the summer months. So drought's a big concern, as we talked about earlier in this podcast, but yeah, we really need the soakering event, and this is going to be one of those for that springtime rain that you think of. So,
yeah. And it looks like we're getting best case scenario for all you farmers, folks out there. Not much severe weather, a lot of rain. We're getting the best of both worlds, but for our weather weenies out there, not too much chasing to be had, it looks like.
Yeah, our class is just not gonna, they're not gonna have it for our chasing days. We're not gonna get class canceled. But you know what? You're happy to see precipitation fall, especially in Iowa. That could help our potential severe weather chances later on too, and bring those cells a little bit more toward the surface with some dews back toward the 50s and 60s. So
can't always be 82 and sunny. So we'll take some rain for now. It's gonna be a cold next week coming up. Highs only up near 60, and a lot of times we'll be down in those 40s with wind and rain. So not a great weekend for outdoor activities. Maybe hold off on Agora Field, but yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to give some of the viewers a little bit more of an opportunity to look at some of the climatological things that we got going on for the first part of April?
Yeah, sure. Let's look into the little bit of a longer range look. So once we get past these weather events, let's look at our temperatures. So we've been way above average. It should be up in those 50s for our average highs. So 50s to 60s, not 86 like we saw yesterday. That's insanely warm, just like we've been seeing all of this March, one of our warmest Marches on record. So cold tomorrow, 40s for Wednesday. We'll get into those low 50s. Stays cold for that rain event on Thursday. So that's part of the reason we probably won't see severe weather. Some of the models have it getting a little bit warmer during the day, but I don't know if that'll happen with how much rain and clouds will be around the system. We'll see that push on off, and cold weather for our weekend. We'll see 30s, 40s, and it's going to be windy too. So not going to be a great Easter forecast. Hopefully you're inside eating some good food with your family on Easter, but not looking great for any outdoor activities. Keep those egg hunts inside for your Easter. Then going off into next week, it stays cold, but it will get back towards average. So it'll be back near our 50s. We should expect probably not 80s for at least a little bit coming on up. So thank you guys all for listening. I'd like to thank Jax Stelzer for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me, Jason. I really appreciate you bringing me on today.
And with that, I'll sign off. Thank you all for listening. And that was Jcarl's Weather Breakdown.